All right, race doesn't exist, but we're going to use it as a nuclear weapon.
No,
Well, anyway.
first of all, did I say that Uncle Tom's Cabin does not exist? I said it's a fiction. Of course it exists. It exists as a category of the mind, which then can be weaponized. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here.
I'm going to specify my question. For example, if I want to object that white people are becoming a minority, or ethnically, racially, Swedish people are becoming a minority in Sweden, and that's a problem, or that racially Norwegian people are becoming a minority in Norway, the entire left-wing establishment will say that no such thing exists. And if I'm complaining that white people are being victimized as white people, and that it's okay to attack white people, because there's this hierarchy of victimology, and white people are not allowed at all to look out for their interests, because the intellectual academic establishment and the cultural establishment unanimously will agree that white people are not allowed to, because they don't exist.
I agree with you. That's exactly what's happening. White people are being demonized. But you're switching terms here, because one point you say Norwegian and then you say white people. Well, which is it?
I was just giving you an example from a country.
But they're two completely different things. They're two completely different things.
No, they're not.
One is an ethnic group and one is a racial construct. You're mixing metaphors here. If you go before, it didn't exist in England, which is probably the main white group of white people in the world because of their colonization of the rest of the world. It didn't exist. I made that quote. The word white people didn't exist until Middleton used it in a play in 1609 or wherever it was. It didn't exist before that.
All right. Let's move on. Another question from the same viewer. Western civilization started way before Christianity took hold. Ancient Greece and Rome existed and had a prominent culture for hundreds of years, for centuries before Christianity. What would you say to that? If Christianity has created the culture that, or is responsible for the culture that we have, what would you say to that claim?
I said it's responsible for European culture. Okay. Obviously, there were two strains that came together. It was Hebrew scripture and Greek philosophy. And these two things came together at the time of Jesus Christ when St. John wrote his gospel in Greek. And he said, in the beginning, there was Logos. This was a crucial turning point in human history. And from that point on, either you got with the program of Logos or the train of advancement of history left the station without you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but would you agree that from a cultural point of view that ancient pre-Christian Greece was at a higher cultural level than more recently Christianized African countries, for example?
Greece was unique in all of human history. It was, they call it the Greek miracle. Of course it was. Of course it was. And God was preparing the human race for the acceptance of Jesus Christ. And one of the crucial factors in the development of Christianity was the Greek language, because the Greek language was the vehicle of Greek philosophy. So with Christianity, you had the Hebrews had history without philosophy. The Greeks had philosophy without history, and Christianity combined them. And that was an outburst of creativity that the world has never seen in Europe.